Hey everybody, this is Way to Fail, and today we're going to be spectating scrolls. I am just jumping into a game between Ovnis and UnholyEdward. Ovnis playing a mono growth deck, UnholyEdward playing mono order. This is actually the second game I've seen between these two players, with Ovnis taking, or Ovnis, or I'm just going to call him Big O, I guess, taking the first one on a God Hand at the very end here. Both of these players are just a little bit under 1800 rated. They kind of float around that area here. So this is a good example of what spectating lets you do, seeing some players that maybe you don't always get to see. UnholyEdward I've played a few times, and both of these players seem to be playing pretty standard decks. Avna's getting out the Rat King early, holding on to his Kinfolk Vets are going to be pretty valuable, although not taking a pot shot to do some damage against the Wing Soldier could be a problem, or the Wing Shield could be a problem later, especially with UnholyEdward getting a Wings Captain out early. That could spell disaster for Ovnis, as the God Hand's not going to do him a lot of good in this hand, and in fact the Armor 2 from the Wing Soldier is not going to be really very useful either. So searching for cards, he does get Oak Blood, which is a card that it's new. Oak Blood gives a crap ton of health, but it's still your creature subject to removal. If UnholyEdward is playing pushback, and I don't think he is, then that's going to get pushed back. But for now, he is trying to leave his rats to be just a little bit sacrificial. Plays Oak Blood on the Kinfolk Brave, which is a totally fine and standard move. But Edward here, he is under control right now, and although he could potentially pother and have a 50-50 shot of moving the Brave north, and it looks like he's going to try and do just that. There's not too much else to it. He does get a Kabonk, could draw some cards here. Could potentially just play the Spearman as well, though. And that looks like that's what he's thinking about doing, especially since the Royal Spearman is going to be a spiky goodness here, especially with the Wings Captain going off next turn. This could be some serious trouble for Ovnis early, and what it's going to boil down to is how can he react to the awfulness that is the Wings Captain here. I imagine we're going to see a Ranger's Bane on him, since he does pack some direct damage. This is where maybe a Frost Gale would be pretty nice as well, but for now Ovnis just holding on to his cards. And this means UnholyEdward could very early, which this is a order tempo deck from the looks of it here, especially if he's not running generals or some of the more expensive units here. Looks like he's just trying to spam the board with creatures, and Ovnis may not have as much of an answer here. UnholyEdward having a Vanguard that he could play, could focus. No real need to focus though, but this is going to be a board wipe one way or the other. So what I'm curious to see is kind of how UnholyEdward follows this up, as we do have the Spearman going, and as we do have everything just not exactly dying because the Oak Blood is there, but at least it takes the Brave down to 2/2, and now this Brave can either do 0 damage to the Wing Shield, or it can die to the Spearman. So good job there. At least there's the Kinfolk Vet. It's going to take 2 damage, which is not ideal, but against order sometimes you have to pick your battles like that. Now Ovnis could speed here, and speed would be the equivalent of wiping the board, especially with the Vanguard. Actually, he doesn't even need to drop the speed. He sacrificed it. Gets Blessing of Haste. He could play a Wings Captain and Blessing of Haste and just crap on Ovnis's parade right now. And we're only just a few minutes into this game. I think probably real time, only 4 or 5 minutes into the game. And right away, Ovnis really playing from behind. He almost would need the double Quake to get back into this. But there's your Wings Captain, and there's the Blessing of Haste. So we are going to have a board clear by round 7 for UnholyEdward. And this is just tough for growth to come back from. That Wing Shield really wrecking havoc on a lot of what Ovnis may be trying to do here, as he does have another Ranger's Bane, now with 2 Wing Captains. There's not a ton he can do here. He could play a Vet, get rid of the Vanguard. That Vet's still going to be marked for death. He could, when that's what he's going to do, he's going to at least try and go for the 1-for-1 swap, because all those other cards are going to be activated with the Wings Captains chaining to each other. Actually, UnholyEdward playing Speed Mangonel as well. So we have a little bit more of a standard order deck with Wings Captains in there, probably instead of Generals from the looks of it. But there's your Kabonk, and he does get a Skirmisher from that Kabonk, so Ovnis is 1 creature to UnholyEdward's is 4, and this is just getting out of control fast. But there are avenues for Ovnis to come back with growth, but a lot of them have to do with trying to pick your turns wisely, God-handing into a certain situation, quaking into a certain situation. And I bet Ovnis is looking for cards right now, but Right now, UnholyEdward taking out the first idol, and it does not seem like there's very much that ovnis can do by round 9. 2 Wings Captains this early, the Wing Shield being the MVP today. 2 Fertile Souls would be nice, and he's going to have to sack for resources here just to pull one of them off. So 2 Quakes, no, we get a Frost Gale though, so that's going to be 1 Wings Captain down. Easy choice for ovnis, or for UnholyEdward though. I don't think he can, actually he could end the game with a Blessing of Haste and Focus. He can actually end this. He can do 10 damage to the top idol and 7 damage. At least he should be able to. Maybe, maybe not. Math, as you've seen from maybe some of my videos, not always my strongest suit. But we'll see what we get here. He's going to drop the Ducal Skirmisher, and he is going to Blessing of Haste. But let's hear, we have 9 idol damage up top, so he has to find 1 more damage somewhere, and that Focus is only going to go to 1 place. And from the looks of it, he just wants to take 1 idol and keep moving north. So no Focus, no way to get this going. So still a Focus, drop the other idol down to 1 if he has Faith Chains or something, which I strongly doubt he's running. But if he does have it, could be there. Getting rid of that Vanguard actually bought ovnis another turn a few turns later. And now he has to Frost Gale or has to Quake, or actually has to put something out in front of that idol, or it's just going to get wrecked. It looks like we have a short game, but that's kind of what spectating is about sometimes. You just get a little bit of stuff. Not a ton. So let's see. He has to put a creature out. And unfortunately, no, he's going to have to put out the Ragged Wolf as well because that unit's relentless. And that unit, of course, being the Ducal Skirmisher. So there we go. There's the surrender. Ovnis is defeated, and there's our spectating. It's short. Not all these videos are going to be long, but sometimes you get one-sided games like that. And like I said, sometimes there's just not a lot of ways for growth to come back. So UnholyEdward carrying the day, avenging a similarly kind of one-sided loss from ovnis or Big O earlier, but that's kind of where your tempo decks, your speed decks for growth and order come into play. It's who can get their shit out the fastest. And the Wing Shield definitely doing a good job of deterring ovnis from taking out creatures early, and that ended up turning the match. So this is Way to Fail. That's it for now. Short spectate video, but I do want to get more of these out. It's just that sometimes it's hard for me to find games that are being played early on enough to kind of give you the context of the full match. But hopefully, though, will be spectating's good, but I would like to have replays up at some point in the future as well, so I can get back to that. I know you all enjoyed it, and I enjoyed creating that content as well. But that's another spiel for another time. For now, this is Scrolls, and I will see you all next time.